Greetings this new day. It's Friday, 27th of March, and this last week, the first week of spring, has been incredibly intense to say the least, and just a lot of different things coming forward and beautiful things as well. And I'm so grateful to have this space here in Virgin, New York, and coming up on the seventh season of sharing community events and teaching energy medicine here in Virgin, New York. And I'm at the Body Oracle. Most of you know me. I'm Brandy Crystal Furness. And there's also a lot of new people connecting. And I don't know who's going to pop on for the live today, but I'm setting an intention for myself to come on and share some live healing and guidance and intuitive readings. So I have a couple of my tracking sheets out and notebooks here. And if I sign off and you still want one of the specials for today, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm wondering if I can share this out to anyone. It's been a while since I've come on live. Just turn that volume down as well. Okay, just enabled the Q&A. Okay. I think I can invite some people live. So sometimes I've been starting my day with different types of tapping, and I found that that really helps with stress. So there's a couple energy medicine techniques I can share with you, and one is called tapping the gamut. And I just like to put my hand over my heart or even rub my hands together vigorously to build up that energy. If you have cold hands or feet, it's really good to build that kinetic energy and place your hands, over a warm body or also on your kidneys, because the kidneys and adrenals need some attention if you're having chronic cold hands and feet. So anyways, bringing the hand over the heart and then finding that spot here between the ring finger and the middle finger, and then just tapping lightly and breathing into the heart, breathing in deeply. This can help center yourself and calm stress. And there's so many things that can be pulling us into those stressors. So it seems like it's a daily practice of keeping ourselves grounded, centered, focused on what matters and what's important. There's so many things that can pull us into distraction or out of living in harmony and true purpose. And like right now is a really perfect time to be acting, like those action steps, but then also allowing yourself to have that rest and rejuvenation. I found myself resting quite a bit these last couple weeks, and not feeling bad if I needed to nap or go to bed early, because these seasonal shifts and also the planetary changes that are happening are causing us all to reorientate or transconfigure through this transformation. And with the cycles and the seasons, it feels like here in New York, at least, and I know across the seaboard here, there was a lot of really extreme cold temps and some like unseasonably low as well. And so there, I can feel the sensitivity as it starts to warm up. Because here in New York, it was like 60 degrees in the 50s and then back down under 20, 22 degrees. And it's just been having those extremes where it can shift, 30 to 50 um, degrees in a short amount of time. And I'm not someone who gets a ton of headaches anymore, but I can remember a period of time about 16 years ago, prior to getting into these teachings. I was having headaches 2 or 3 days a week. And at one point, when I was pregnant with Evander, my middle child, I had a headache for 11 out of 15 days, or 11 out of 14 days. I was in college at the time, and for early childhood education and American Sign Language, human services, and things like that. And I was having to go to the chiropractor twice a week. Like it even like affected my vision. And so when we have like disruption with our cranial nerves, or if there's foods that we're eating, or we have sensitivities to different things such as mold, radiation, electromagnetic chaos, there's so many things that can agitate our systems. And so it's really good to learn how to tune and heal and strengthen our aura and our biofield, and also really learn our own body's muscle response to our yes and our no, to be able to tell if something is good for us or if something's draining our energy. And that's all about energetic boundaries. So, a couple other tapping that I've been doing lately to ground myself, flush worry or anxiety if it comes up. I'm not typically a really anxious person, but being a highly sensitive person, I'm always picking up on things in my environment and with others. So, the stomach meridian starts here under the eye, and it kind of like drops down and comes up and around and back down all the way off the second toe. And it's also connected with the earth element, and it's the yang. So it's any meridians or energy channels that are flowing down into the earth are considered that dynamic or that yang. And the yin are all of the meridians that are essentially coming up from the earth. The liberating current, and it's 360, and the manifesting current is 360. That's our toroidal field, our aura. It's also an electromagnetic field that, science has proven and shown the different electromagnetic field that comes off of the heart. And when we can just like drop in and tune into our hearts and tune into what can help bring us that calm and ease, and intentionally release the stress, intentionally do the things that can support well-being in the body. So anyhow, I'll do tapping here, under the eyes, very, very gently. Anything on the face or the head is always to be super gentle, and you can be more vigorous on the physical body to wake it up, because we truly, truly are here to wake up the body, be embodied, and have that physical experience. And so, hey, Julia, welcome. Just talking here today about different techniques and things that we can do to kind of ground our bodies, flush worry, anxiety, and remember to breathe. So, just taking a few cleansing breaths. If you're watching live or catching the replay, you can do these exercises at any time. It doesn't have to be at a certain time of day, um, or evening, but the stomach meridian is most active according to traditional Chinese medicine from 7 to 9 a.m. And then that pair, of the earth elements, the spleen, is what comes up from the earth. And so we want to balance that earth energy within us. I mean, all times of day, but that energy is the most active, sometimes in the first several hours of people waking up. So just checking in with yourself, and maybe even doing a little body scan for yourself, coming to the awareness of wherever you're drawing your mind to in the body, and just sending that part of yourself like gentleness and kindness. So the next point that I really like to tap, is under the clavicle, and it's between that top bone of the clavicle and the rib. So you can massage into here, these points, or you can thump and tap vigorously. So if the stomach point is like helping ground us and anchor us into the now, into the physical, then this kidney point is going to help wake us up. The neck here is the bridge between the head and the heart, and we want to come more deeply into our hearts to be awakened every day. That's what it really truly means to be awakened. It's like, how much can you say yes to what's right in front of us? Like, how much can we be present with our priorities? And so this point, this being stomach 1, this is kidney 27 or K27. And it brings that energy up from the bottoms of our feet. Kidney happens to be the yin water element in this particular teaching. And the bubbling well, or the wellspring of life, is another name for that point, which I just love it, because we need to be more connected with the waters. The living water, the structured living water, is so connected to source. Water is our divine source, and in my belief, and is connected with life. And we need to have that movement and that flow to restructure and recalibrate our body field. So we essentially being, a fourfold being, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual in one. We have these different layers of our aura and our bioelectromagnetic field, because first of all, my mentor always said we need to be a closed biological electrical circuit, meaning we need to be that clear channel and let things flow. When energy flows, it loops, it weaves, it moves, and that movement helps create flexibility, longevity, and balance to our nervous system. So we are going to go to that spleen point now to connect with the spleen and the stomach. And the spleen neurolymphatics are on the ribs as well, but in between ribs. So all of the points of those lymphatics are in between the ribs. So we're never really massaging on the bone if we want to activate these lymphatics. And so there's like this little indentation. For women, it would be like in the bra line or underneath the nipples for men and women. And you can feel that there's like a bigger space in this one point. So you're welcome to tap along with me here. Tapping along these points, helping to wake up the body as well. But it can help to prepare our body for metabolization. So neuro meaning brain, and lymphatic is, our lymphatic system is, it doesn't have a pump. It's that clear liquid that is supposed to help remove toxins and flush toxins out of our system. And with that movement, whether it's exercise or energy medicine or stretching, we're allowing that energy to come up and flow and help to balance ourselves. Like there's so much disconnect, especially with all of the electronics and things that can distract us. And so just connecting with your body in whatever way you do, if you hug yourself, you can, massage yourself. You can even do lymphatic massage up in your scalp and in your neck and your jaw. You want to get underneath all in here. Just giving yourself that love and pulling that energy down. There's no right or wrong way to do this when you're loving up on yourself. It is that true self-care. It's going to be what helps you perpetuate and create that movement and that momentum to do the things that we need to do. And I know that it's easy to, feel stuck sometimes or get in ruts, and it's okay to take that time to process, heal, and release. But then those baby steps, that gentle movement, and then that vigorous movement is what's going to help us to access this awareness, this self-awareness of what do I need? What are my needs? How do I get them met? How do I work on myself to create that inner stability and balance for health and well-being? because like I said earlier on this video, there's so many things that are causing stress, distraction, chaos, and anytime that we can come back to ourselves and find a peaceful moment to go into meditation, to have a warm cup of tea or a drink of water, cook a nourishing meal for ourselves or our family, it's priceless. Like, this life is temporal. We're not going to be here forever. I tell myself all of the time because, like I said, it's so easy to like go to a negative or think that something's not going to work out. And the more that we have a commitment to truth and focus on that self-care and create that momentum for ourselves, we can move through anything. And community is really important because sometimes if we feel like we need support or we're falling short, it's like one hand washes the other. I was talking with collaborators and people and everything like that, and it's true. It's like sometimes we really do need to lean on one another, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that creates true, lasting connection, healthy relationship, and bonding. And humans are bonding creatures. We do need community. It's good to be isolated sometimes. It's good to have time for ourselves or hermit. But most people are communal beings. And no shade to the ones that, are the solitary. So tapping here on the ribs and on the sides underneath the armpits, thumping up here on the clavicle bone and under the eyes very gently. So those three things right there can help you kind of recalibrate and balance your energies. And I just love doing it because it's something that's so easy. You don't even really have to think about it. But when you do think about it and you do have an intention behind it, where you're thinking, yes, tapping here, I'm flushing worry, I'm grounding the energy in my space. Or if there's chaos going around in your environment, you do these little things with intention, thinking, I'm grounding everyone in this environment. I'm sending peace and calm out instead of creating more resistance or turmoil. So that's one thing that we need to retrain ourselves to do, is be intentional and keep ourselves calm as much as possible in the face of chaotic situations or arguments or crisis even. And so yeah, I'm really grateful for these teachings. And one other thump that we can do right now to boost our immune system is thumping on the thymus gland. And the thymus gland is in the heart chakra space. When we're little kids, it's like the size of an orange. And as we age, if we're not activating it, it's shrinking. And so thumping here vigorously, going like this, or even putting our hands like this and thumping. This is activating that endocrine system gland that is connected with our immune system, our energetic immune system. Our immune system as well is in our gut and is very much connected to our brain and nervous system. But when we're thumping here in the center of the chest, remembering to breathe as we're doing it. Waking up the body, waking up the nervous system, waking up the immunity. So there's times like when I'm on the phone, if someone is like hurting or isn't feeling good, I will just naturally start thumping here on my chest to keep my immune system strong and grounded. And then also as a support person or as a guide for others, I keep my channel flowing and open so that that harmonization and alchemical reaction can happen. A lot of my clients say that they feel lighter. That's one of like the main things I hear is, oh, I feel like a burden's been lifted off of me, or I'm sleeping better, or I'm breathing better, or going from being in pain and discomfort to clearing an energetic blockage, because we see less than 1% of the visible light spectrum as humans. And so there's the seen and there's the unseen, there's the known and there's the unknown. And when clients come in, essentially one of the things I'm doing is helping to clear density within the electromagnetic field that allows for more balanced flow, that allows the natural channels of life force energy, of chi, that breath of life, that spiritual energy and essence of who we are, to revitalize our organs. Meridians manage muscles. And so sometimes if we have like a pain in our body somewhere and it's connected to a meridian point, we can essentially move and flush that out in a variety of ways. There's so many ways to move and shift energy. And I wanted to study all of these cross-cultural healing traditions from around the world because that common thread meant something to me. I wanted to know what other people around the world were doing to help ease suffering, to promote health and well-being, to restore health by virtue, rather than just expelling disease, demons, and things of that nature, parasites, heavy metal toxicity in the body. And so as we release these toxins that have built up in the lymphatic system and the organs and the digestive tract, we're gonna need to pour into ourselves and remineralize and nurture ourselves. And that's where the muscle testing comes in. That's where like your expert guidance comes in to help you understand different things and help like really truly release the confusion. If I ever get confused about something, I recenter myself, I clear my energetic field, and I tap into that wellspring of life, that source creator within my own being, and I just ask for the guidance. And then you take a step. And every single time you take a step towards restoring your health or restoring relationships or finding your true path, you're living in your purpose. You're clearing the way on purpose. And that is so valuable. Yeah, so I'm glad that I'm sharing today. I really feel like coming online live more. I was doing so many lives on TikTok and just posting and sharing here on Facebook, but I really do find the value of having social media and the online community. I truly prefer the in-person events and all of the classes and the workshops and the gatherings and things like that. That's where you can really go deep with one another. But a lot of us, we don't live near each other, and so we have social media to connect around the world. So I am going to grab my water really quickly, and I will be back in a moment. Okay. Actually, I grabbed 2 drinks. I got my water and I got a little coffee. I'll probably be trying a bunch of different times of day. When I go live on TikTok, I was doing Mondays at noon sound bath healings with my crystal bowls and meditation and guided affirmations. And then Monday and Wednesday evenings, we were doing group panel, and it was really cool because people from all over the world, we could all come up on video and these little screens, kind of like on Zoom, except for it's like a live platform, so anyone from around the world can just tune in. And that was really interesting. I started doing that in February of last year, and it really brought a lot of really amazing people into my life, and connections that I got to learn. And so, yeah, so I'll be doing some bio scans and mini readings here. I'll stay on live for a while. And I'm just thinking of what else I can share, because this live video, the replay will be available, and then those that are gonna tune in can receive the healing and the messages and the techniques. So yeah, a little bit more about tapping that I learned. There's a technique that was developed by Gary Craig in 2004, and that's called the emotional freedom technique. And it combines that meridian work that I've been talking about along with tapping along these energetic points in the body field. And it's stimulating this clearing, because when you work in that manifesting current, and it's kind of like essentially you can like deprogram energetic things in your field, like fears or past worries, experiences. I've even worked with clients with food sensitivities or issues that come up, and we use EFT to essentially open the biofield to release and clear those energetic patterns. And so just like tapping on the karate chop point here. There's a lot of people that do EFT, like free videos on YouTube. So you can type in anything like EFT for anxiety, or EFT for weight loss, or EFT for confidence and courage. There's so many things that you can do that for. I like to actually use both my hands, and I've never seen anyone do it like that, I don't think, other than myself. Um, so like you can learn the format and then make something your own. And that's what's beautiful and intentional. It's like give credit where credit's due, where you learned things, but then make it your own, because you can't really do it wrong if you're living an intentional life, especially to promote more well-being. You're just going to create more well-being, and that's going to build on itself. And so tapping along this point, I'm trying to think of something that we can do. We could actually do the stress and anxiety tapping, actually, is what I'm feeling. So you like claim something that's like going on with you, and like express it by just saying, even though I've been feeling stress and anxiety. You're not like, even though I'm stressed all the time. You don't want to be necessarily like that, but you could. Like, there's no right or wrong, but it's coming into that space of being like, even though I'm experiencing, because that's not permanent, right? You're experiencing it right now, but you're going to release it. Even though I'm experiencing some levels of stress and anxiety, then you say, and I deeply and completely love and accept myself, or I love and forgive myself, or anything like that. I like the phrase, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you say that 3 times to kind of like bring up whatever might be blocking you, stopping you, triggering you, or keeping you in those patterns and loops of stress and anxiety. So we'll say that again 2 more times. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So that's bringing that up. And then um, there's a little beetle bug that just crawled on top of my phone. So I was like, oh, it's gonna crawl across the camera. I don't know. So you're going to want to come up to the crown of the head, the byway point. This is governing meridian point 20. And so tapping here on this point, each point we're going to say the same thing that we said on the karate chop point. So it's going to be, and join in with me at any time if you feel like it, if you feel guided. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you're going to come down in between the brow. This is the bladder meridian, point 1. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And if you can have feeling with it too, like that's great. Like add in all aspects. Whatever's coming up for you is just right. Coming to the temples, so many meridians run through here. The small intestine, the stomach, the gallbladder, the triple warmer. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And remember, everything on the face of the head tapping is supposed to be super light and gentle. Coming under the eyes to that stomach meridian, point number 1. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Between the mouth and the nose, this is the large intestine. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Coming to the chin, this is the conception vessel that runs from the perineum up the front of the body to the bottom lip. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Coming back to that kidney 27 point. Sorry, I have a little, my lip is a little bit dry from talking so much. There we go. Okay, even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So we're coming down to that spleen point that we were tapping on earlier. And that's typically where you would kind of like brush yourself off and then check in and see how you feel. Do I feel any tension in the body? Do I feel any pain? Any discomfort? And then what is the level of stress? So you want to give yourself like a test, like 1 through 10. 10 being like the most stress and anxiety that you felt, and 1 being a low amount of stress and anxiety. So right now I feel about a 2. I think I felt a little like maybe like a 3.5. I could use to be more in the sunlight, so I'm probably gonna want to go for a walk here in a little bit. But I add in another point before I check in typically, and that's the gallbladder point. So like wherever your hands like land on the outside of your leg, above the knee and thumping there. Oh, that one's tender for me. So if you felt any tenderness or anything along any of these points, if you tapped, that means you need it more. That means that there might be a blockage. That means you might need to add more massage there to get that energy flowing, to break up the fascia, to move the lymph. And so I'll say that again, even though I've been experiencing stress and anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Oh, yeah, I needed that point. Whew. So the gallbladder meridian, it starts by the temple, comes back by the ears, loops up and around the sides of the head, back behind the ears, up to the crown, and then down and off the 4th toe. And so you want to like imagine what I've seen in Qigong. My colleague Kirsten Wrighton, she teaches Qigong and does medical Qigong sessions. So she'll be here this Sunday offering sessions at the Body Oracle on and off from 12 to 5 p.m. And then we also have our Compassionate Healer Retreat for Reiki Masters next month. And so she showed me years ago through a visualization that 4th toe should kind of feel like a draining out of energy. And gallbladder is a wood element in this tradition that I'm talking about and sharing from, not the EFT, but the traditional Chinese medicine. And so just imagining that energy is kind of like continuously flowing down into the earth, because you want to be rooted. You want your feet to be planted and rooted in the earth. you want to feel that physical embodiment. You want to have a strong aura because that's going to help you regenerate and heal. Like there's no reason to have you know, pre-aging. It's aging is a privilege denied to many, yes, but like we want to be as vital, flexible, and have that longevity for as long as possible. So I've been tapping on this point for quite a while, so I'm going to just brush off the knees now a little bit and just tap into my body. Yeah, I feel like it's like a 1 now for stress. So coming on live, you know, a little bit of stress. It's not that bad because I love sharing with you all and I'm happy to do so. I've been facilitating and teaching events and workshops and classes since March of 2013. And so I just, you know, I always love sharing, but when you come online and you don't know, you know, like how people are doing or what the day is going, or and being a sensitive person, I feel you all. Like I feel people when they're in my office. I feel people when I'm out at the store. And then there's this little dust flying around, but yeah, so just tapping in with yourself, checking in and seeing how you feel and what level of stress that you have, and then doing that whole sequence. You can come back to this video later. They usually leave videos up, live videos, for 30 days. They used to leave them up indefinitely, and they don't do that anymore. I think I'll probably talk about flower essences here in a couple moments. I'm going to share this video out. I meant to earlier, and let's see if anyone's. No, that's just saying invite friends to watch. It wasn't allowing me to share the video to my page. So it must just be on my personal page here. What do these other buttons do? Okay. There's a poll. I already turned on Q&A. Oh, I do have a link to my website here. What does this one do? Oh, that one puts like GIFs and stickers on the screen. Oh no, how do I get off there? Oh, there we go. And then, oh, you can turn the camera around and add text. So yeah, there's quite a few options here. And I cannot add guests because it says there's technical issues. Okay. So I started working with flower essences in 2012. I had kind of known about them. I'd been working with herbal remedies and like homemade remedies and stuff since I was really young, you know, studying herbalism since I was 7. And then I started learning about different like vibrationally charged things and frequency healing. And I had some, like I'd seen the Bach remedies, and I think I had this book on flower remedies, but I didn't really get into it until 2012 when they were introduced to me through another alchemist. And when she handed me the box of her flower essences, my whole body went like this. But it was like this like energy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I knew magic was real, but damn, you know. And it always comes back to nature. It always comes back to like how much can you see the miracle of life, right? And so I have these 2 practitioner sets. These are from FES, which is Flower Essence Services, but they also make the entire practitioner flower essence kit of Dr. Bach from England. And one of the philosophers, Paracelsus, he once said that the morning dew off of flower buds is like nature's first aid kit, and I absolutely loved that. So I love going out and seeing the colors and smelling the smells and connecting with nature, because that's where we heal. We heal in the natural world, truly. And so this one box has all of these remedies in it, and I can have someone sit in front of me, or even if you live in another state, I can surrogate test. You set the intention. Maybe you want more mind body coherency. Maybe you are working on clearing a bacterial infection and need microbial balancing. Maybe you're going through that stress and anxiety and you want something to like ease and heal the nervous system. Flower essences can help with so many mental, emotional, spiritual things, that when those levels and layers of us are balanced and harmonized, the physical body follows suit. So your spirit, your alignment with your spirit, is what helps and shows you in the body, because the body is a map of our consciousness, truly, and it's symbolic, because when you start studying these different things about nature and reality and metaphysics, you start to see that everything is in service to everything else. And if there's something lacking or a stagnancy or a deficiency, that is typically 20% of disease and dysfunction is deficiency. The other 80% of disease, I believe, is caused by stagnation. So moving the body, having vibrational healing, having practitioners that know how to work on the body and know how to work on the energetic field, having a skilled team of practitioners, which there will be some practitioners here this weekend. We'll have pop-ups, and then we also have the monthly open house and soul healing gathering last Sunday of the month. So this Sunday, the 29th, and then again, April 26th and May 31st are the next three, from 12 till 5 here at 72 South Lake in Bergen, New York. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the essences that are in this particular kit, and then I'll read some of the definitions. And when I'm able to muscle test people, I can find out what you need to help you clear whatever you're going through. So I truly believe that there's a remedy in nature for everything. I don't just believe it, I know it. So this particular, well, let's see, I'll tell you what the definition of what it is in here with the healing herbs, the flower essence of Dr. Bach. He says, what are flower essences? Flower essences are exquisitely refined herbal infusions acting as nature's liquid messengers of inner health and harmony. They are highly effective, non-toxic herbal preparations that address core issues of wellness, especially emotion, stress, mental attitudes, spiritual values, and life purpose. Bringing balance in these areas is a major factor in developing sound mind-body health. The essences can be employed in a variety of contexts, from home healthcare to professional practice. So the story about how these particular essences were developed is that they were prepared in England in the 1930s by Dr. Edward Bach, and Bach was a visionary healer who recognized the soul spiritual dimensions of healing decades before this awareness gained public acceptance. And there's those of us that come in with this knowing, so keep an eye out, because, we are all awakening together and remembering these truths. Bach was trained in conventional medicine, but knew that physical symptoms he treated were intimately related to the emotional and mental conditions of his patients. He sought a natural, non-toxic method of addressing inner levels of human experience. Although widely recognized as an outstanding bacteriologist and homeopathic medical doctor, Bach left his practice to develop a new healing modality derived from fresh blossoms of plants during the time the world was suffering from Great Depression, fascism, and Nazism. Bach developed a set of 38 flower remedies which could help the human soul overcome fear, despair, and depression. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Bach. And so this little book that came with this set also talks about like what happened to Dr. Bach's work after he died. And I'm just going to read this. I don't normally come on and read stuff. I normally just come on and share from my knowledge and wisdom in the heart. But I want to share this with you because flower essences have been instrumental in helping to heal and repair my connection with the natural world that I never felt truly severed from or disconnected from, but because of society, because of patterns and programs or traumas, like we all can feel disconnected sometimes. And this is what helped, help me remarry back to myself and the land and from which we came, that true source and connection. After Dr. Bach's death in 1936, preparation of the flower remedies was continued by his devoted assistant, Nora Weeks. She directed the Bach Center and dispensed remedies to a small but dedicated group of practitioners around the world. Nikki Murray began working with Nora Weeks, in 1962, and was trained in essence preparation and selection, including the identification of proper plant species and habitats. In 1978, Nora Weeks died, giving responsibility for carrying out Dr. Bach's work to Nikki Murray, and with the help of her brother, John Ramsell. Nikki left the Bach Center in 88 to pursue spiritual service and subsequently died in 97. In 1998, Julian Barnard, who learned the preparation of Dr. Bach's remedies from Nikki Murray, began his own separate company, Healing Herbs, to prepare remedies following the traditional methods of Dr. Bach in 1991. The homeopathic company A. Nelson and Company Ltd. Nelson's took over bottling and distribution of Bach remedies and formally acquired the Bach Center business in 93. Nelson sells the flower remedies through their subsidiary Nelson Bach using the name Bach Flower Essences. So that's pretty interesting. Here's a picture of them in this book too, I'll show. And that's Nora Weeks. So the 38 healing herbs of Dr. Bach in alphabetical order are agrimony, aspen, beech, centaury, serrato, cherry plum, chestnut bud, chicory, clematis, crab apple, elm, gentian, gorse, heather, holly, honeysuckle, hornbeam, impatiens, lark, mimulus, mustard, oak, olive, pine, red chestnut, rock rose, rock water, which is the only one in here I think that's not a flower, scleranthus, star of Bethlehem, sweet chestnut, vervain, vine, walnut, water violet, white chestnut, wild oat, wild rose, and willow. So those of you that know me and my business and some of my signature services, I offer a rose frequency blessing, and I have not only the wild rose, but another 2 whole sets of rose essences with 8 different roses in each, and they're specifically to support spiritual growth and expansion of our nervous system. They help to balance the central nervous system, the cerebrospinal fluid pulse, help to realign the cranial bones and the sacrum when we go through these periods of expansion and contraction. It's all a part of the rebirth that we're going through. So I will bring people into this like health and beauty treatment, but scanning your auric field and telegraph testing your electrical circuitry to find out where in your body that you need these reparation, these healings with the flowers. And I love to bring in hydrosols and my aura sprays. If people are not sensitive to fragrances, now I do use all plant-based products. I don't use any chemicals. So I have just pure frequency charge rose water or hydrosols that I use. And then I'll also do like an anointing. I usually make different types of anointing oils and just bring in that beautiful fragrance that is from nature. And roses hold some of the highest frequencies and vibrations on the planet for healing because flowers are the crowning achievement of plant. If you go to my timeline, that first saved video is me talking more about flower essences. And so yeah, the signature service is helping to create a custom remedy for you and give you guidance and life direction through any challenging times or circumstances. Or even if you just want to up level your life and you want to like get to that next stage and feel that next level vibrational expression of your life force energy moving and expressing through your physical form, flower essences can absolutely help you with that. And Dr. Bach also created a 5-flower formula that is for stress. And it contains the cherry plum, clematis, impatiens, rock rose, and star of Bethlehem. And you can use that like as an emergency trauma type solution, like if you get a call or you stub your toe or something happens. Like, I don't want to keep speaking more challenges or issues, but you know what I'm saying. It's like you can use energy medicine in your own hands and tapping on your field and just calming your own nervous system, tapping the gamut like we showed in the beginning of the video, to working with nature, going out, putting your bare feet out on the earth, making sure that we're hydrated. It's easy to get dehydrated too. We need a lot of fluids, especially through these different seasonal changes. And you can get your hydration through alkaline fruits and vegetables. I particularly like my Kangen machine. I work with a company called Enagic, and it puts an extra hydrogen molecule onto the water, which pushes that hydration into your cells faster than just, I would never drink just regular tap water unless I really, really like was in a place where I had to have it. Just because there's so much chlorine and dissolved different things like fluorides and heavy metals and things in our tap water. So I highly suggest filtering our water before we drink it. I used to use a Berkey. I still have a Berkey. They have a charcoal filter and I really like them. And I had a pure filter before and a Brita filter, for cooking. But then when I got my Kangen machine, I think it was 4 years ago now, yeah, January of 2021, there's so many things that the Kangen machine can do, and I use the Kangen water, the structured water, to make remedies for people if they need these remedies made up for them. See what else it says. Let's talk about willow a little bit. It says about willow is for revitalization through acceptance. Willow trees are full of vitality and life force. They can be pollard or cut severely, and they will spring back with vigorous growth. Willow flower essence help one accept life's trials, let go of bitterness, resentment, so that life's new possibilities spring forth. Let's just tap into the energy of willow. Because there's a Devic realm, right? There's an angel. Deva means angel in Sanskrit. There's an angel for every flower. There's an overlighting Deva of your body. There's an overlighting Deva of the planet. Like I said, a Deva for everything. And those are the architects of the universe. And I just want to tap into the willow, the reverence of connecting with Grandmother Willow. So I'll turn back to the definitions here as well. Salicylic acid comes from willow as well, and that willow is, I think, one of the places where aspirin is derived from. So just keep that in mind. Positive qualities of willow are acceptance, forgiveness, taking responsibility for one's life situation, adaptable to changing fortunes and circumstances. So that's what willow flower essence helps you with. And the pattern of imbalance that willow helps correct is feeling resentful, inflexible, or rigid emotional memories, which turn into bitterness, tendency to blame others, and see oneself as the victim. So connecting with willow to kind of just flush and release any of those qualities of imbalance, those patterns of imbalance, just opening up to the root system and the branches and the presence of the willow essence. We can truly ask nature for anything. It's like our own belief that blocks us. And sometimes things take longer to come into fruition. Sometimes things take longer to manifest, because it's like when you plant the seed, you don't get the fruit or the vegetable or the grain the day you plant the seed. You've got to nurture it. You've got to water it. You've got to tend to it like a garden, just like your own being. And so when it says, so to connect like with the body, here's the picture of the willow flower, and there's the definition there. So resentment, bitter, sour thoughts, they can affect the spleen. And the spleen can in turn affect the pancreas. And so like giving the spleen, giving the solar plexus, like putting yourself first, honoring yourself first, helps to create an energetic boundary and a security of trust with yourself. And the more that you can trust yourself and your body, the less you're going to allow your boundaries and your standards to be violated. And that will in turn help you to release bitter, sour thoughts and resentments that could stick in this area of the body, weigh you down, cause turmoil, cause all kinds of things to come up. Just going to check the time here. Okay, it's about noon. I'm going to see what other flower essence wants to communicate with us today. Okay, I heard agrimony. Ooh, we're going to go back to that. I'll show the picture of the flower first. It's this cute little yellow one here. So the positive qualities of agrimony flower essence: emotional honesty, acknowledging and working with emotional pain, ability to radiate genuine equanimity and inner peace. Oh, I'm seeing there's a little rainbow on my face. The pattern of imbalance: anxiety hidden by a mask of cheerfulness, denial and avoidance of emotional pain, addictive behavior to anesthetize feelings, which is what we were talking about with distraction earlier. Like anything that's going to distract us or numb us up from living our purpose, finding our true joy, is going to anesthetize our feelings. And then it's going to just build up, and we won't know why we're angry. We won't know where the pain is coming from until we start to unravel and uncoil the root of it. Getting to that core injury or wound, whether it was emotional, whether it was trauma, whether it was mental. You know, it could have been an accident, it could have been like a minor injury, it could be something bigger, and we never know truly unless we face it. Face the pain and ask this part that feels wounded or feels emotional pain or the anxiety, just asking it to come to the surface. What parts of me are feeling stress, anxiety? What parts of me need to come to that emotional honesty to have that integrity within myself to rebalance? Because that's all it takes. When we learn the lesson, bing, bang, boom, you can turn it right around. There's some things that maybe we'll never fully heal from. we're not getting out of this alive. None of us are. So the more honest and truthful we can be with ourselves about who we are, what we want out of life, what our needs are, and recognize to honor, value, and respect others on their path and journey, that's going to create that more harmonious, cohesive mental condition. And yeah, so willow and agrimony. I feel like there's one more. A chicory wants to come through, and we'll want to hear from chicory in just a moment. And chicory, it grows everywhere around here. It's like on the roadside everywhere. You can even grind up chicory root and add it to a blend of herbs as like a natural coffee substitute. And so here's our beautiful chicory flower. And this one I feel is going to tie it all together for us as far as like what we were doing with the EFT, what we were doing with the body wake up and the tapping. And so here we go. Selfless love given freely, respecting the freedom and individuality of others' emotional containment. Yes, yes, so potent, right? Patterns of imbalance, possessive, manipulative behaviors disguised as love, being demanding, emotionally needy, getting attention through negative behaviors or self-centeredness. So really taking like others' journeys like into consideration. Why not? We can't force others to change. We can just like allow the space to learn and grow with each other or grow apart from each other. It's as simple as that. It's like we can come together, we can weave, we can co-create, we can be our own individual selves. And when we come together, yes, there's that other energy and dynamic that's created and that forms. So I'm just feeling gratitude for the essences and their lessons, and let the flowers be the teachers, right? And again, I'll say if you are catching the replay and you want any of these little mini sessions, just follow the guidance and I will post your reading in the thread here, or I'll send it to you through Messenger or email. And I'm really looking forward to gathering with everyone on Sunday. I think it'll probably be about 3:30 when I do the sound bath. If you'd like to come out to this open house and soul healing gathering in Bergen, New York at the Body Oracle and my centaur, we are featuring a few healers and artisans each time. So they'll be vending some of their goods and services. I have some colleagues coming and also some brand new people and friends. And we always have a wonderful time here. I just celebrated in December 6 years of being open in Bergen, New York, and right here in the village at 72 South Lake Avenue. I'm across from Bergen Sales. They're like a green building, and I'm in a concrete block building across the street. There's also a redemption center and a salon in the building, and I'm right in the middle where Bergen School of the Arts used to be. And it's just like, it's so interesting too, because when I moved here, I found out that several of the other things that were going on here in this space are all things that I had been interested in and or studied in my life, from it being a ceramics studio, a flower shop, a daycare center, and a place where there was music, dance, and instrument lessons and things like that. This little beetle crawling on me. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share about flower essences today and how they can help you and work with you. I have my April special is going to be anyone that books the full intuitive assessment, which you get a 2 hour session with me. It takes me other time before and after to prepare for you and to do everything. So the full intuitive assessment is really a very high intensity package that goes through all of your body systems and auric field. Um, Performs a healing for you and also an energetic cleansing, clearing of stagnancy, blockages that really helps bring you full fruition and into the present and into your body and create this balanced stability for you to move forward in your life. The Body Oracle Intuitive Assessment is available with the Elemental Detox. So you get the digital course that I created last year. And if you purchase the assessment between now and April 30th, you get that plus the choice of one of my frequency charge aura sprays or a custom remedy made for you. That's over a $444 value for that in bonuses. And then I'm also opening my schedule to some apprentices and some creatives or artisans, artist healers that want to be mentored and or apprenticed with me here in 2026. I have apprentices that I've never even met in person, and then I have apprentices and past clients and students that have gone on to start their own businesses and become practitioners and healers in their community. And so I'm so grateful to, just be one of their guides along the journey, because we all really truly do learn from each other as well. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to share about this? So there's also a few days left of the integrated energy therapy special. If you use code MARCH, something, I forget actually. I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, if you use the code MARCH, you get 50% off the IET, which it helps to get issues out of the tissues. It was developed by Stephen Thayer, who was a Reiki master, to help like get deep emotional blockages released from your energetic field, from your auric field, and really just lighten and brighten you up. And like that truly can be felt. People have all kinds of experiences when they come in for a sound healing or a session with me. People that have never had visions before will see visions in their imagination, or they'll see colors, or they'll feel different reliefs or shifts, so to speak, that can happen within them that they can explain or that they can't explain, or they remember things that they needed to remember, or I can present a question or bring up something that can help them release something that's been a long held pattern, keeping them held back from living in their true purpose, from living in their true joy. Like, yes, of course, we're going to have challenges and grievances and everything like that. So we want to come to that natural state of balance and stability whenever we can. I'm going to be looking forward to creating the spring and summer class and course list. We have some amazing, my son is coming, so I'm going to hop off for now. And please feel free to visit my website, like, share, follow this video. And it's www.thebodyoracle.com. I'm wishing you so much peace, calm, comfort, and joy to your day. Bye for now.